What's up, everyone? Welcome to this video, and we're going to be doing the 2025 Jacksonville Jags record prediction, and with that out of the way, we'll hop right into it. Alright, so their first game, they will be at home playing against the Carolina Panthers, and I think this could be a pretty good game. You've got two quarterbacks who I feel like need to prove something this year because Bryce Young had a good end to his season last year, but he needs to prove that that's not a fluke. And Trevor Lawrence finally has a decent head coach. So he needs to prove that he is a good quarterback that has just been held back by bad coaching. So I think this will be a good game. And I do think the Jags are going to win this game just because I think they have a more talented roster than the Panthers and they're at home. So I'm going to check that as a Jags win and having them go to 1-0. Alright, heading into week 2, the Jags will be going on the road this time to play against the Cincinnati Bengals. Definitely safe to say this is a tougher matchup. The Jags are going to be on the road. The Bengals were very close to making the playoffs last year, and they're going to be a very dangerous team this year. So I do think the Jags are going to lose this game. I think the Bengals just are going to be hungrier for this win, just considering how their season ended last year. So I have the Jags dropping this one and going to 1-1. Alright, and for week 3, they will be back at home playing against their division rival Houston Texans. And any division game can go either way. And this is one of those games. I think both of these teams are going to be pretty decent this year. And I'm looking forward to this game. But I'm going to have to give a slight edge to the Texans here. I just think they have a more talented roster. I trust CJ Stroud and DeMeco Ryans more than I trust Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen, Liam Cohen's the new Jags head coach, for anyone who didn't know that. So I'm going to give the Texans the win here and have the Jags drop to 1-2. Alright, and for week 4, they will be playing on the road again against the San Francisco 49ers. And honestly, I think this is going to be a rough game for the Jags. The 49ers have a very talented roster. They have Brock Purdy at quarterback. They have CMC at running back. They've got George Kittle. They have a pretty good offensive line. Their defense is unbelievable. They lost some pieces, but I still think the roster is very talented. And I think going against this roster on the road is going to be tough for the Jags this early in the season. So I'm going to say they drop this game and fall to 1-3. Alright, and for week 5, the Jags will be back at home playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's just a rough schedule. I know the Jags record isn't good right now, and it's because of how tough their schedule is. And I'm going to say they lose this game just because the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and they're going to continue to be this way until someone can dethrone them. And I'm going to say they lose this game and drop down to 1-4. Alright, and for week 6, the Jags will be at home again playing against the Seattle Seahawks. And this is definitely a winnable game. And I could see this game going either way, but I'm going to lean more towards the Seahawks just because I think their defense is better than the Jags defense. And I don't think Trevor Lawrence is a bad quarterback, but I'm not fully sold on him. I feel like he needs to prove himself this season, and I think this is going to be a game that shows why I feel that way. So I'm going to say the Jags lose this game and drop down to 1-5. Alright, and for this next game, they will be in London playing against the Los Angeles Rams. And I know I mentioned in my last video that international games don't really matter for home field advantage, but this has to be the one exception because the Jags always play in London, so they have an advantage there. And because of that advantage, I'm honestly going to say that the Jags win this game. Rams are a very good team, arguably could be a Super Bowl contender. But I think the Jags and their home field advantage that they weirdly have at Wembley Stadium will come in clutch and propel them to 2-5. And as for week 8, that will be their bye week, and their record is currently sitting at 2-5. Not the greatest record, but it's not the end of the world. If they get lucky, they can make a playoff push. Alright, and for week 9, they will be on the road playing against the Las Vegas Raiders. And this is a game, I feel like this is going to be a lot tougher for the Jags than they might realize, because a lot of people probably don't think the Raiders are going to be that good. But they have some pretty good players on their roster, so I wouldn't write them off as an easy victory by any means. And I think the Jags are going to get a little too full of themselves. I mean, it's kind of weird to say that because they're 2-5, but I just feel like this is a game where they're going to let it slip, and they're going to fall to 2-6. All right, and the next game they'll be playing the Houston Texans on the road for their second matchup. And I think after that Raiders loss, I think the Jags are going to be motivated. They're going to do everything they can to win this game. And I think they're going to win this game. I mean, not that the Texans won't also be doing everything they can to win this game, but I just think the Jags are going to be a little bit extra motivated. And I think they're going to win this game and improve to 3-6. All right, and their next game for Week 11, they will be playing the Los Angeles Chargers. These are two teams that I think are going to be really good. Believe it or not, I do think the Jags are a decent team despite their poor record. And I think this could be a shootout. And I'm going to say the Chargers win because I trust Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh in a shootout more than I trust Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen. Not that either of those guys are bad. It's just Justin Herbert is elite and Jim Harbaugh is an elite head coach. And I think it's just a shitty situation for the Jags because I don't think they have the defense to slow down the Chargers a whole lot. So I'm going to say they drop this game and fall down to 3-7. All right, and heading into Week 12, Jags really need to start winning here, and their next matchup is on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. Definitely winnable, and the big question is, do I think they're going to win? I do. I think they're going to win this game and get back on track and improve their record to 4-7. All right, and heading into Week 13, they will be on the road again against the Tennessee Titans, another very winnable game. And this one, I think it'll be close because it's division rivals, but in the end, the Jags have a more talented roster than the Titans. They have a more experienced quarterback than the Titans do because the Titans have a rookie quarterback, and Titans' roster just isn't that good, at least not on offense. Their defense is okay, but it's not great, and I think the Jags are going to win this one and improve their record to 5-7. All right, heading into Week 14, the Jags will be playing the Colts at home, and I think Jags fans are looking forward to this as much as Colts fans are not looking forward to this because the Jags have not lost to the Colts in Duval County since 2014. So, yeah, it's pretty bad for Colts, but the good news is this isn't about the Colts, it's about the Jags. And I think they'll win this game and improve their record to 6-7. All right, heading into Week 15, the Jags will be at home playing against the New York Jets. The New York Jets have Justin Fields at quarterback, who is actually hurt right now, but I imagine he'll be healthy for this game. And this is another game, definitely a winnable game. And I'm noticing that the back half of the Jags schedule is a lot more favorable than their front half because their front half was brutal, but their back half is really giving them a breeze, at least for NFL terms. I think the Jags are going to win this game. I think it's at home. They're on fire right now. They've won 3 in a row, and I think they'll make it 4 in a row with a win here and improve to 7-7. All right, and heading into Week 16, they will be playing on the road against the Denver Broncos. And this is a game where, the Jags have won 4 in a row at this point. And the Broncos, although a very good team in my opinion, they have a very good defense and their offense can get the job done. I do think the Jags are going to win. And I'm a Broncos fan. It genuinely kills me to say this, but I mean, the Jags are on fire, and if a team is on fire, I don't think any team is getting in their way. So I'm going to say the Jags win this game, and for the first time this season since Week 1, they're going to have a positive record at 8-7. All right, and for Week 17, the Jags will be on the road again, playing against the Indianapolis Colts. And if you watched my last video, which was about the Colts, you will acknowledge that the Colts didn't have the season that they wanted to, and the Jags so far are on absolute fire. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Right now they're at 5 wins in a row, and I think they're going to make it 6 wins in a row, playing an ice-cold Colts team and improve their record to 9-7. And ending the regular season, the Jags will be at home playing against the Tennessee Titans. And this is about as surefire of a win as I feel like they'll have, because they've won 6 in a row at this point. It's weird to think about it, but they've won 6 games in a row. It's a combination of just them playing better and the fact that their schedule is a hell of a lot easier in the second half. So I'm going to say they win this game with a final record of 10-7. And there you have it. 10-7 is their record. And if they make the playoffs, which 10-7 you think would be good enough, it might be good enough to win a division, depending on how the Texans and Titans finish. But oh man, 7 wins in a row to end the season. If they make the playoffs, they're going to be a very hard team to beat. I'm just saying that because I will acknowledge that their schedule at the end wasn't very hard. It's like, even still, winning 7 in a row is impressive either way. Because, there's trap games. They didn't get trapped any of those 7 games. They just took care of business. And if they make playoffs, oh boy, they're going to shock some people. So that's actually going to do it. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far into the video. And I will have a Houston Texans video out next in, honestly, probably less than 12 hours, because I need to get all these teams done before the actual games start. Because, obviously you can't do predictions when the season's already underway. So yeah, I'm going to get this up on YouTube so y'all can watch it. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.